Adam, where are you guys at right now in search for a GM?
We're going through the beginning stages of our process. We've been working to really kind of finalize what we're thinking as far as people. You know, we just want to make sure that we go through and with the job descriptions and things like that, just talking through everything, kind of responsibilities and making sure we're very detailed on how we do this. You know, it's one of those things. It's complicated sometimes when you really tear down the position and look through everything of what it is and what the responsibilities are.
What is it that you're looking for?
Well, really, it's going to be Christopher Johnson's decision. We're doing our part, kind of. There's a group of us working on this to present to him really, you know, what that position's been. I think, you know, there's a mold of what some teams are looking for a GM. I think he's looking for something a little bit different, and we're trying to do a good job putting everything on paper. So, and then talking through everything.
And whether it's true or not, what do you make of the widespread belief that you stabbed Mike McCaffrey in the back after?
Yeah, that would be false. That's just not true. Christopher made a decision.
You said you were surprised the other day. Is it fair to say that you did not support Mike prior to Christopher, firing the general manager?
Support in what way?
Support him. I'm assuming you and Christopher Johnson spoke before Christopher.
He called me and told me that he was doing it.
Did you discuss?
Prior to that, it was more conversations about some of the things that we've done in the past, and I mean, majority of the time, me and Mike we're always on the same page, you know. But you have disagreements. There's always going to be disagreements in this profession as far as philosophy, what you want to do, you know, player personnel wise. But at the end of the day, he had the final decision. I mean, that was his right.
Adam, at any point did you express to Christopher that you could not work with Mike
No.
going forward as GM?
No.
Did you want him to go on?
No. No.
How would you describe your relationship with him, and could you have worked with him this year?
It's irrelevant. I mean, all that's irrelevant because the decision was made. We're moving forward. I mean, we can't hash about 2 weeks ago. I mean, we sit here and tell the players move on. Don't worry about the last play. Don't worry about the last game. I mean, what happened last week? It's over, and we got to move on.
Adam, one thing Christopher did tell us was that, referring to you and Mike, he said the synergy wasn't what he had hoped for. What didn't click with you guys?
I don't know. I mean, that's his perspective. You know, which when you're in it, you're really just you're going through tasks. You're going through processes of free agency draft. I mean, when you're in it, it's hard when you're the person that's interacting with another person. So he had a different perspective, and obviously he wanted to make a change, and he did.
Are you concerned at all about how you're being perceived here, because you've been there a short time, and obviously you're taking a lot of hits here?
That's fine. That's what I get paid for. I get paid to take all the bullets.
But it's off of, nobody's been played. Usually it's
That's fine. We'll be to September soon enough. So.
Adam, is it important to you that you have a previous relationship with the next general manager?
No. I think it's just our process. We go through it. When we go through the interviews, and then Christopher's got to make the decision on who he likes and who he wants and what their vision is, and kind of really that's what we have to go through. We have to go through this process to figure out what he's looking for, what he wants, how he feels when he meets somebody and interviews them.
What role specifically will you have? Will you be sitting in during the interviews?
I mean, we haven't gone through it yet, so I mean, we'll find out. I mean, I'm obviously going to have interaction. I'm going to have time with anybody that we bring in.
And you fired a scout. You've also said that you only want to coach the team. So why did you fire the scout instead of having
It's my job right now to do both roles, and that's what it is.
Well, why
I mean,
not
because
the next general manager comes in so he can shape that?
That's a fair question. I made a decision. I mean, there's other people in the building that I talked to, and that was kind of the consensus, and that's what I did.
Adam, what do you say to the notion that people perceive this as you're going to be picking the next GM, that this person is just going to be your yes man, and they don't know the strings?
I don't know. I don't really hang out with yes men, so if it's somebody that I already know, then it's probably somebody that's not going to be a yes man.
Why not? What do you mean, why would that?
Because I don't associate myself with people like that.
Is it fair though, Adam, to suggest that the person that comes in will be deferential to you? You've outlined already that the reporting structure on paper will not change. However, given that you are going to have a prominent role in deciding who the next GM will be, is that a fair conclusion to make that that new person will be deferential to you?
Whoever the GM is, they'll have final say on the roster. So if there's ever a disagreement, our job is to hash it out. But at the end of the day, that guy or that person will have the call. They have the call. They have the final say.
Coach, there were multiple reports there about one of the reasons why, one of the many things that you and Mike didn't see eye to eye on was Le'Veon Bell, and the addition of Le'Veon Bell. Could you just comment on that?
We signed him. I'm excited we have him. I've been in constant communication with him. Discussions happen, and to me, it's when you're going through free agency, you're trying to put together, and we sign a lot of guys. You're trying to put together a big puzzle, and you're trying to figure out money, fit, locker room, all those things. There's just a lot of things that go into all that stuff, and discussions are had, and whether or not we disagreed on anything, if it was financially, that's a completely different story than the person or the player. And that's where a lot of this gets misconstrued. Like, Le'Veon Bell is a great player. He's a good person. He's been in constant contact with me. I enjoyed my interaction with him when he was here, when he came on his visit for his physical, when we signed him, when he was here for the beginning of phase 1. I mean, he texts me all the time. All that stuff you get on Instagram, I get it first. So that's how I know what he's doing. So he's been great with me as far as contact goes, making sure that I know what he's doing, where he's working out at, where he is, whatever part of the United States he's working out in. 'Cause, I mean, he does a lot of different things as far as who he's working with.
Did the Jets overpay for it?
Did we what?
Did the Jets overpay for Le'Veon Bell?
No, I mean, the contract was what it was. I mean, you can overpay I mean, everybody can criticize contracts all you want, but he's here. I'm excited he's here. I think our players are excited he's here. I know our coaches are. I mean, you get a chance to coach a great player, a guy that's done things that nobody's ever done in the league. Like, we're excited for that opportunity. I'm excited to get him in the offense so I can start figuring out what else can we do with him? What hasn't he done? What could he be great at in this system?
Right, but do you believe that the Jets overpaid for it?
No.
Coach, when you look at a college head coach, essentially serving a role as a GM as well, what makes that role different than you handling both duties here as the head coach of the NFL?
It's a little different because you have so much movement just going through, especially the last few days. And there's constantly things that are coming up. Roster, injuries, guys moving in and out, dealing with a lot of the people that you normally don't deal with. It piles up quick. And then you're in the middle of OTAs, scripting, practice, meetings. There's a lot of things going on, and then you have a whole other thing to deal with.
Circling back
Adam,
to.
I think C.J. Mosley was also working with Bell in terms of allegedly players you thought the Jets overpaid for. C.J., I think, has been here during the program.
I mean, that's what somebody else said.
No, I
Those
understand.
words never came out of my mouth.
So do you, I guess.
I just told you. I mean, those words never came out of my mouth. So on him, I mean, we did everything we could to get him. I think I took a pay cut. So, I mean, whatever we had to do to get him, that's what we wanted to do.
Why were you frustrated by your lack of involvement in the pre-draft process?
I did the same thing I always do. I wasn't frustrated by anything.
You weren't,
No.
you didn't feel like you were excluded from important meetings or anything?
No. Did I ever say that?
No, I mean, it just had been reported, so just giving
That doesn't mean it's true.
Right.
It's reported from somebody else's perspective. I did the exact same thing I did in Miami. Everything was the same. Everything was the same.
So you felt you were involved enough?
Yeah, I mean, that's their baby. That's personnel guys. That's their thing. I'm there to help. That's what I did. Nothing was different that I did this year compared to any year before that.
Adam, just circling back to what you said about reports not being true. 2 weeks ago, you said that reports of a rift or any kind of disagreement with Mike was untrue. So today, are you still saying that you
See,
on this relationship?
that I said in a press conference that what was reported was false. me and Mike had disagreements on a few things, but there was no personal rift.
Not personal.
That's
The report was
wrong.
not personal, it was about professional.
Depends. I mean, we can have disagreements. It's part of the job. If you're not disagreeing, am I doing my job? If I agree with everything anybody else says in the building, am I doing my job?
Did you fight for Mike when you talked to Chris?
I wasn't asked.
You were not asked for your input on how you felt?
He told me, he called me and told me what we were doing. That's what happened.
Right,
You
so
were
just
looking
for
at the
clarity,
quarterbacks.
he did not ask you for your opinion about the general manager before
He
you fired him?
called me and told me what he was doing.
Okay, so it's a no.
I just answered a
No,
question.
you did not answer the question.
Yeah.
Take a couple more.
When you were looking at the quarterbacks last year, when you were evaluating last year's quarterback class, what did you think of Sam, and did he rank in your mind with the other ones? Did you have other guys ahead of him?
So he wasn't a guy that we evaluated. We thought he was going one. We didn't evaluate it. I evaluated two guys.
So you felt like, we don't have a shot at this guy, so we're.
Well, my role in the whole process, Chris Greer did a great job of targeting certain guys. I watched those guys, and I watched two guys. I watched Baker and I watched Josh Allen.
Adam, could you take us through the decision to trade Darren Lee and the timing of that to happen, like the same day that Mike?
Yeah, that was going on for a while. They had been talking with them for a while. We just pulled the trigger.
Why did you decide to move on from Darren?
Well, we had been talking about it since, I think it was being talked about before I even got here. So they had been working with Kansas City already.
Adam, going back to Le'Veon for a second, there's been some speculation that you guys might try to trade him before the season even starts.
That's
Is there
ridiculous.
anything within the realm of possibility?
That's the first time I've heard of that.
So that's not gonna happen.
No.
Last one from Tim.
You talked about a lot of reports that aren't true and that haven't come out of your mouth. Is there damage control that you have to do with the players or in the locker room to get them? There's nothing that you've had to say to them to get them to believe, like, okay.
No, I mean, guys have been good as far as coming to see me. If they have questions about anything, they ask me, but nobody's even
So all this
brought
stuff
up.
that's happened.
Yeah,
is not
that's basically everybody else. These guys have been great. They worry about practice and learning the new offense, defense, special teams, and these guys doing a great job, working hard and coming in every day trying to get better. I don't think they're. I mean, if you talk to C.J. Mosley, I don't even think he knows that you guys will be out there or really cares. So, I mean, all these guys have been great as far as just putting their head down and working.
Adam, just to piggyback off Kimberly's point about just, it's been a little bit of a rough few weeks. Only because you had talked to us a little bit about your relationship with Mike, and obviously you said that things were good, and then a few days later, he was let go here. So then there's a little bit of a trust issue that you have with the fans now, because they're not sure if they can really believe what you're saying.
Yeah, I think our fans care if we win or lose.
But is it important to you?
But if we win games, nobody's going to remember this. I know that. Well, our job's to win. Our job is to win. That's it.
Thank you, everyone.
Everything